Hey, we're gonna talk about SwiftUI and the basics of the layout. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about a ZStack. A ZStack is a container that is used to place objects on a Z-axis. When defining the Z-axis, let's put it in the context of the X-axis and the Y-axis. The X-axis is where items are placed horizontally in a view. The Y-axis is where items are placed vertically, and the Z-axis is where items are placed on top of each other and there is overlap. In other words, the ZStack container provides a flexible way to arrange views and is often used when creating complex user interfaces with overlapping elements. The views within a ZStack can be arranged with relative positioning, and ZStack also supports alignment and spacing to control the arrangement of contained views. The HStack is a container in SwiftUI that allows you to stack views horizontally. It's similar to the VStack, and it stacks views in a horizontal direction instead of vertical direction. With HStack, you can arrange views side by side and control their positioning, spacing, and alignment. Like VStack, HStack provides a flexible way to arrange views and can be used to create complex user interfaces with multiple elements. Views within an HStack can be positioned using relative or absolute positioning. And HStack also supports alignment and spacing to control the arrangement of contained views. VStack is a layout container in the SwiftUI framework provided by Apple for building user interfaces on Apple platforms. And that includes Mac OS, iOS, iPad OS, and Watch OS. A VStack arranges its child views vertically, one above the other. It's used to lay out elements vertically on the screen. Okay, so now that we have that, let's go ahead and get into our project. So I'm going to go here, and I have created a project, and this is going to be the user interface for our project, and it will be called the Norbcast podcast app, right? This is our imagine. Now, all we're going to do is we're going to create a user interface for our podcasting app, just so you can understand what it's all about. So when you go into SwiftUI, you're going to have two things, right? You have two objects in your main content view. And for now, because I'm just giving you the bare bones, the nuts and bolts of how this works, right? This main content view is you're gonna start with a struct, and that's your content view, right? And you're gonna call this within your content view preview, right? And this is your content view preview. And this is where this is kind of comes together. You see globe, and if you watch some of the other videos, you know what the SF symbols are. This globe right here is a reference to this SF symbol, and hello world, of course, is right here. But I'm going to explain more in depth about how all this works. So, of course, we did a build, and this is our app, but this is not what we want our app to be. So I'm going to go right here. I'm going to remove all of this, right? I don't want this. Okay. And of course, you do a reload. Hold on, let me go back here. What the heck is going on? Right, missing return. I don't know what's going on with this, right? Okay, so hello world should be removed. Yeah, it's running a little slow right now. I'm going to rebuild this, right? So again, this is your preview, and of course, hello world is missing. Over here, this preview is kind of like still, I don't know what's going on, why it's still. This should be down updated by now, but let's go ahead and get rid of this right here. The thing wants to slow down. I don't care. I don't have time. All right. So now we've gotten rid of that. Let's go ahead and let's make this not a V stack, but a Z stack. And I want to get rid of the padding. I don't need the padding. Okay. So what I'm going to do is take this, make this a Z stack. So what it means by this is going to be a stack where I can put other views on top of a view, right? And what I mean by that is when I create one view, another view can like literally be sitting on top of it, blocking it, right? Whereas a VStack, you'll have one view up here and another view, the next view will be under it. HStack, you have one view here, then your next views will be right next to it. And I'm going to demonstrate that for you right now. Okay. So right now, let's go ahead and do our background, right? So right now it's white, but for the sake of our app, I just want it to be a gradient, right? And gradients are much easier in SwiftUI than they were in the old UI kit. So I'm going to take color. This is an array, and I'm going to say dot cyan, okay, comma, dot pink. I'm gonna say dot purple, dot cyan, dot purple, and the first one is gonna be I can say leading bottom, but I'm gonna say top leading. What is top leading? Okay, or trailing, top trailing, right? Let's say top trailing, right? Top trailing versus the endpoint is dot bottom leading. What do these mean, right? So basically, if I wanted to say leading, leading would be this side, okay? Trailing is this side. So, I mean, leading is left, trailing is right, top, bottom. So if I say top trailing, this is where the gradient starts. Bottom leading, this is where the gradient ends. Make sense? Okay. And of course, you can play around and figure out how you want to do it, right? Gotcha. That make sense? All right. And then you see this right here, the edge insets. I want to get rid of these insets, right? So I'm going to say another thing too. Now that I have this block, what you want to do is make a dot edges, ignore safe area, dot all. Now I get rid of my safe areas. See that? Now you notice something over here, right? How this is basically a method, and I pass, this enumeration all to it. And I've explained that in other videos. You know about making those and how those work, right? So one thing about this is for convention, we can take this and return to the next line, right? And it still works the same. Okay. So this cleans stuff up, and yeah, that's how that works. So we have our gradient done. We like our gradients, nice and handsome or whatever. I'm not gonna say pretty, but now I'm going to create a vertical stack, right? Because I want to start placing views up and down this mug, right? So I'm going to say VStack, right? And I'm going to say alignments dot leading, okay? And I don't want this other part. I want this out of here. Okay. VStack alignment leading. And of course, it's got to have a body, right? Okay, now within this VStack, I want another HStack, right? So I'm going to say HStack, right? This HStack is going to say, I'm going to do this. And actually, I don't need to have this, right? I don't need this. I don't need this. This is all the HStack really needs right here, okay? So now I'm going to make a spacer, right? It's going to push everything down, okay? Up here, and then I'm going to create an image, right? And because this is a horizontal stack, an image. Hold on. Come say image. And then I'm going to have system name, right? And system name is going to be gear shape. And of course, I get those from my SF symbols. You can go here and create whatever type of get whatever kind of icon you want. Of course, you do it like this. So if I wanted to say year, right? These are the gears, gear shape. This is the icon. I do copy name. I come here. And that's it right there. And as you can see, it's right there. So let's go ahead and make some modifications to this, right? So we're going to say resizable dot resizable. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Now we're going to say dot aspect ratio fits. Aspect ratio dot fit. And we're going to say dot frame is of type, we're going to say width. Width is let's say 30. HEIGHT, height is 30, right? So that's the frame size that I want. I mean, that is the icon size that I want. This is going to be one of the icons used for our, our app. Then I'm going to create another spacer after that. Spacer, right? So we have a space. Look at that. And now it pushes out to the middle. So I have a spacer on both sides of the image. See that? Now I'm going to say, now I'm going to say text. I'm going to call this my podcast, right? That's what this screen is going to be called. My podcast. Okay. So now I see my font's kind of small on the small side, right? Let me go ahead and zoom on this mug a little bit. Okay, not that much. Okay. Go back down a little bit. I'm gonna open this up some more. Because I'm looking at in my content preview, right? Instead of, let's see how it looks in my my simulator, right? Right, almost the same. Okay. All right. Go back here. And give me a second. So now I have this. I'm gonna go here, and I need to modify. Have the modifier. So fonts. For fonts, I'm going to say dot system size is 36. Since this is a float, I'm gonna say 36.0. Weight dot bold and design dot default. Okay. So now I have that dot foreground color is blue. Foreground color dot yes. Bro. I'm videoing. Yes. Sorry about that. So now I have this foreground color blue dot, okay, stop, dot shadow radius shadow dot color. Color is dot white, and radius is going to be 9. Okay. And padding is going to be 10. Dot padding 10. And this needs to kind of be working. I'm going to, as you can see, my content preview is like slow as heck, but you can see it in my simulator that my simulator is actually keeping up. I don't know what's going on with this content preview. I don't. But anyway, we got stuff to do. I'm not gonna sit around here and mess around with this all day. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's create another spacer, right? Ah, now it caught up. Spacer. Okay, now I'm gonna say, image. Again, system name. Okay, and this one is going to be a search icon. So again, I'm going to go to my SF symbols. I'm going to say search, search, and this is my search icon. So I'm just going to take this right here, copy name. And I'm going to put this right here and then paste it there. Okay, so now we have that. Now I need to modify this, which is dot resizable dot aspect ratio dot fit, and then dot frame, right? Frame width is 30, comma, HEIGHT, height is 30. Okay. And then of course I'm gonna add a spacer, right? Spacer. And that is going to, so there we go, right here. So now this is our header. And then I come down here and I want to just see what my block looks like, the outline, the boundaries. I'm going to put a border on it. This is temporarily. Border, right? Dot border, dot white. I'm going to say dot red, dot red. Okay. Okay. So now we have a red border around here so we can see that? There's a red border around there. Yeah, so let me I'm gonna actually make it black so you can see. Black. Okay. There. You should be able to see that. Okay, so now I have this. I'm going to make a spacer under this vertical stack. Spacer, right? And this one will probably push it to the top, which it did. Okay, so now this is at the top. Okay. Let me see. Okay. So let me see something. Spacer. Okay. Border, spacer. And I want this spacer to not take up all the space. I only want the spacer to be 20 pixels, right? So how I'm going to do that, I'm going to come down here and make a modifier. Frame. Okay. Frame dot height, or frame height. Height is in here, right? And I'm gonna make this modifier just 20. Okay. So it's not pushed all the way to the top, but you'll see what comes under it will be pushed. So now that this is just 20 pixels, this has come down again. Without the modifier of 20 pixels, it pushed this all the way to the top, right? So, and you'll see the next thing that's going to be under here is a scroll view. And the scroll view is going to be horizontal. Now, scroll views replace table views. Scroll views are going to replace table, but not lists, right? Lists are going to replace table views. And so we do this by doing a for each in, with a HStack or a VStack inside of a scroll view. And I'm going to show you how that works, right? So we'll start off with a scroll view. This is going to create a series of table view cells as in the context of UI kit, but actually it's different, but it kind of gets across the same functionality. Okay. So scroll view right here. Scroll view, I'm going to say HStack, right? Spacing. Okay. 20. And this is what is within our HStack, right? Now we're going to say for each, and now and we're going to hard code this because we don't have a data source. So what we're going to say is we're going to make 10 cells, right? Or what would be the equivalent of 10 table view cells, right? 10 views. Okay. So we're going to do it for each to do that. We're going to say for each 0 dot less than 10. Okay. This right here, I'm going to say index in, okay, right here. But what am I gonna what am I gonna put in here? Well, I'm gonna put a ZStack in here. That's what I'm gonna put in here. Okay. I'm gonna put a ZStack. Just follow along, and all this will make sense. Putting a ZStack in here. Then I'm gonna say color dot white, right? And you can see 10 cells. Now I got to go ahead and start creating the content for those, right? Image, right? System name. And what do I want? I want something that indicates audio, right? So let's go back here to SF symbols. I'm going to say audio. What indicates audio? Well, let me go back, right? AirPlay audio. So this is gonna be my sound. AirPlay audio, right? Copy name. And there we go. Image right here. Now we have to have modifiers for this, right? So I'm going to say, give me a second. So now, again, we have this audio. Now we're gonna have modifiers, right? So I'm gonna say dot. Why did that come off? Dot resizable. Dot aspect ratio. Aspect ratio. Dot fit. Right. And so now, and of course they're big is what, so I need to limit this, right? Dot frame, and the frame width and height. WI width 90, comma, height, height 90, right? So now our icons are looking normal. I want corner radius to be changed, right? Dot corner radius. You see all these modifiers I can use to clean this up, right? So I have a corner radius on here, and now let's see, padding, right? Padding dot all, comma 20. Okay. See how this is shaping up? And see, and then foreground color. I'm going to change the foreground color to something else. Foreground color, because I don't want this to be the same color as what is in our SF symbols library or whatever. So we have all this, right? And actually, I don't think we need this right here, because that obviously is not working. But I put the corner radius down here, right? So after here, I'm going to say frame dot frame. Okay, and this should be width 120, comma, height 120, right? And you see how this is shaping up, right? Now I'm going to say dot corner radius 8. And now you see how this is shaping up. But check it out. It's scrollable, right? And we can also make this data driven. SwiftUI is pretty damn powerful, right? So let's see something. Okay, so now we're gonna go here, right? So now if we wanted to, we could put a modifier in here, but I'm going to go down here. Okay, dot, I'm gonna say border dot black. And let's see what border. See, so there's a border around this. Okay, around our scroll view. Okay, so now that we have the border around our scroll view, let's make a spacer after here, right? Spacer, and we're going to put a modifier on here. Okay, spacer dot frame, because I only want it to be 30, height of 30. T 30. So now it's coming back down, right? So I'm gonna make an HStack now, right? Say an HStack. Why? Because I want to go ahead and make some titles under here. Okay. And by the way, let's go ahead and check this and see if this is working in our simulator, right? You can even go and test it on your phone, right? Okay. Or whatever device you have access to. Okay, so there you go. So now I'm going to, now that we have, I'm going to make this an HStack. Okay, so now we have an HStack, and I'm putting a spacer in here, right? Spacer, right? Dot frame, height is 20. Okay, so now we're back in the middle again, okay? Now I'm going to say new episodes. Say text. New episodes. right? And now that I have this text, it says new episodes. I'm gonna go here. Then I'm gonna modify it dot font, right? The font is going to be dot system, right? Size 18, comma, weight, weight, weight dot medium, right? Design dot default. Okay. And then as spacer. Okay. And then text, we're going to do this was going to be show all. Of course, right here. Oh, this thing is so slow. Okay. And let's see, my new episodes wise and my font. Following up. Let me see something. Stop it. But no, that's about right because it's 18. Right. Spacer. We'll say text, not test, not test, text, right? Say show all, and I'm gonna modify this. We're gonna say dot font, right? Dot system. So font dot system, and we're gonna say system size. Oh my god, size 18, weight dot medium. Oh, I'm gonna say bold. Right. Design dot default. Okay. Dot foreground color is gonna be dot blue. Dot shadow. Color dot white dot radius is 20, right? And then I'm going to say, I'm going to put another spacer. I am tired of trying to get the what's it called to work. So as you can see, how this is everything showing up in the simulator, right? So now the spacer, and I'm going to say text show all. No, we already have text show all, right? Shadow, right? So now, and I want the spacer to only be 20, the width of 20. Spacer dot frame, right? With 20. Okay. So I have this. Okay. Dot border, right? Dot black. Okay, let's see if we can see this. And of course, this takes forever. I don't care about waiting. Now we're gonna go ahead and add a VStack. Oh, but there it is. Okay. Now, let me see something. So I was messing with this, right? For some reason, this was not showing correctly, but I just kind of deleted it and walked back through it. And now it's showing 20 in front of the new episodes, no nothing set in between, and then 20 trailing show all. Okay, so that's what we want to do. Um, that was an interesting problem. So now, now that I have that, now let's go ahead and create a VStack. And this VStack is going to create what's similar to a table view. And we're going to have several views that we're gonna have a stop and start button, and I guess video, something showing a video feed in each cell. Okay, in each quote unquote table view cell, but we know it's not a table view, but this kind of represents the same functionality. So I'm using the idea of a table view kind of like as reference. Okay, anyway, so I'm gonna say VStack. Okay, vertical stack, right here, and scroll view, right? And then go down here. I'm gonna say another VStack spacing, VStack, right? Spacing, spacing 20, get rid of this, right? Get rid of all that. Back spacing. And I'm gonna say for each, right? For each 0 dot dot less than 11, right? And I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to say index in, right? And I'm going to say ZStack. I'm going to say ZStack. Okay. Alignment dot leading. Okay. Alignment leading. Alignment leading. HStack. Right. Color dot white. Okay. So now, as you can see, there's several things down here, and you can actually scroll them. See that? It's 11. So now I'm going to say image, right? System name. So let's go ahead and find a system name that we want to use. I'm gonna say video, right? Ouch, stop. Okay, so I'm going to use this. Stop. I'm going to use this. Copy name, right? And I'm going to put that in there. Okay. So I have and I'm going to make this, I'm going to add the modifiers, right? That's going to bring it up to a certain size, right? So I'm going to say resizable. It's 1 dot dot resizable dot scale to fit, Okay, dot frame. Right, and the frame is width. And the width is 100, right? Comma, excuse me. HEIGHT height is the same. So I want this to be square. 100, right? And then foreground color. Foreground color should be same as the other one, cyan. So now that's there, foreground color. And then I'm going to say spacer dot fix size. Spacer dot fix size. Spacer dot fixed size dot frame width 180 180 and I'm going to say this I have another image, right? Image system name, and I'm just going to use playback, play, pause, circle. Play, pause, dot, circle. Play, pause, dot, circle, and you can see it showing right down here in the corner. And of course, I'm going to go back and do what? Dot resizable. Okay, dot frame. Dot width 40, comma HIGHT height 40. Right. And now that I finished this, I'm gonna go down here and add modifiers to this whole stack. I'm gonna say padding dot all 10. Right. Let's see, what am I doing? Dot padding. 10. Okay. All right, so I have that. And now I'll go down here to 1, 2, 3. Dot background color dot white. No, it says not foreground color, background color. Background color. Okay, so just background, not background color, just background. Okay, and so now what I can do, like, I need to remove this because this is doing nothing. Right? That's doing, or maybe it was doing something. So I'm gonna go back and put that there. Yeah, that was actually doing something. Okay. All right. And so let's see. Let's go down here. Dot border dot black. Okay. Okay. Spacer What the heck is going on? Please, sir. Huh. Get border, not white. Border. Interesting. Okay, so for whatever reason, this is useless, right? Get rid of this and get rid of this. I definitely don't need this, right? Okay. But I can scroll up and down on this, right? And yeah. And I'm gonna get rid of this padding border. Black. Let me go ahead and do this. And get rid of all the borders, right? Dot border, dot border, right? Dot border. Dot border. Now, right here. So you have a scrollable, like a table view, and you have this horizontally scrollable. Okay. So this is your first semblance of an app, right? SwiftUI. Of course, it doesn't really do nothing, but don't worry, we're gonna get down to that. We're gonna get up with that and show you a lot about how this is going to work. But this is just kind of like an introduction to ZStack, VStack, and HStacks and scroll views, and we'll get into more stuff later on. But for now, on to the next